What's up haters, Curtis here, welcome to yet another Premier League video. Today we're going to be doing a review of the first weekend of the Premiership. We're also going to be talking about some transfers and a couple of other things. So there's a few things I want to get out of the way first. Firstly, I've kind of messed up. The idea of using that wall, right, I wanted to use it as like a green screen sort of thing. So as you would have seen in the last video, like in that sort of area, there was pictures of the things I was talking about. Well, the fact it's red means I can't wear quite a lot of clothes. I mean, it rules out this. So you get the point, the list goes on and on and on. So it just means there's not a lot of red clothes that I'm going to be wearing. But anyway, on with the vlog I guess. We'll have to stick with this then. Also, in case you haven't noticed, every vlog that I've done recently wearing this I Love Haters hat. That is going to be a regular thing, guys. I'm going to make it so that every vlog I can will be wearing this I Love Haters hat. I've got other hat, or no hat, which I could be wearing. Even Sean commented saying, why are you wearing a hat indoors? Why not? That's going to be a new vlog thing. Every vlog you can have I Love Haters because I love the haters. Couple more things before we actually get stuck into the topic. A lot of people mentioned about my hand movements, blah blah blah. I feel really awkward just standing here like, yeah, hello, blah 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 blah. So I kind of feel the need to move, not as much as this, but I feel the need, like when I'm talking, to do that. So if you don't like it, what can I say? Anyway, one last thing. Last week I did the Premier League predictions thing. I got a few things wrong. They were my opinions, my predictions. If I was to have got everything spot on, then I would be a millionaire because I would have bet on every single thing and would have got everything right. So all the people saying, you got this thing wrong, or you're such an idiot, I can't believe you said that, or this. It's my predictions, my opinion. I'm not going to be 100% right, obviously. It's what I think is going to happen, and it's not obviously going to happen. Also, I missed out sort of quite a few teams. Like, a lot of people were saying, why didn't I talk about Newcastle? I wanted to talk about the teams that had the most changes in the transfer window, and Newcastle hadn't. So I didn't feel the need to talk about Newcastle. And if I'd spoken about every single team, I only had time to talk about 6 or 7. If I'd spoken about all of them, I would have been going for 40 minutes. And you guys would have complained, this video is too long, etc. So I am covering every single game today. So if you supported one of those teams, sorry. But I'll talk about you today. So we're going to go straight in. We're going to go through all the 3 o'clock games and the 5:30 and then the Sunday and the Monday games. So to start off, Arsenal 0, Sunderland 0. Boring game. Arsenal lacked quality in the final third. 14 shots of Arsenal's to Sunderland's 3. Cazorla was amazing. Too early to judge Podolski and Giroud. We weren't great. We had Jenkinson, Mertesacker, Diarby all starting. I wasn't expecting anything more than a point with a starting lineup like that. How we kept a clean sheet with Jenkinson and Mertesacker playing, I do not know, but we did. Cazorla was brilliant, looked very good on his left foot as well as his right. Podolski wasn't too great, he got about 70 minutes and Giroud got 20. They both looked okay, but you can't really judge strikers from one match, especially Giroud getting just 20 minutes. Sunderland started brilliantly. Other than that, they fizzled out very quickly, and it was mainly Arsenal just passing the ball around in their half and them in their half just trying to get it out, really. Mignolet looked good. He had a couple of good saves towards the start and later on. That's about it. It was 0-0, stalemate, boring game. So, this game was bloody brilliant. Fulham 5, Norwich 0. What a game. Could be very different for Norwich this season. Without Paul Lambert and the first season buzz has now gone, it might not go so well. Fulham looked absolutely terrific. Petric, Mladen Petric had a brilliant debut after being released by Hamburg last season on a free at the end of the season after playing alright. Yeah, I think he scored something like 39 goals in 78 games at Hamburg, which isn't bad. Fulham picked him up because they obviously didn't have the Pog anymore, Pogrebniak, because he'd gone to Reading. They only had him on loan, and they sort of was lacking in the strikers, and they picked up this guy. He's the one to watch. He's going to be good. Plenty of other players are also involved. Duff becoming the, I think it was like, second Irish player behind Keane to score in 13 different Premier League seasons or something like that, which is pretty good. I've always kind of liked Duff, and he's just a pretty decent player. Like I said, Norwich not doing too well to lose 5-0. Fulham looking absolute brilliant to win 5-0. So good for Fulham. Nice to see that happening. The next big game, QPR 0, Swansea 5. What was happening with the results this week? There was a lot of big scorers. It's unusual that you'll see an away team win 5-0, let alone someone like Swansea. who've just lost their manager, the reason why they play the football they do. And wow, life after Brendan Rodgers is going fine. They've got nothing to worry about. Michu getting 2, the brilliant new signing, cost $2 million from Rayo Vallecano. Fantastic. Central midfielder, central attacking midfielder as well. So to get 2 is very, very good. Nathan Dyer also picked up 2 goals, which is great for him. Everyone knows how much of a quality he is. You'd know that if you play FIFA. Scott Sinclair finished it off for them to make it 5. And QPR, it's not looking good for you guys. Like, I think all the money they've spent, all the players they've bought in over like January last year, summer this year, that hasn't worked. Like, to lose 5-0 to Swansea, they need to sort that out, get a couple of new players in. Obviously, they've got Rob Green, they've got Fabio, they've got all these strikers, midfielders. The defence isn't too bad. Anton Ferdinand's a good player. Like I said, Fabio. Rob Green came in, made a mistake straight away. It's not a good sign for QPR, and if I was a QPR fan, I'd actually be a bit worried. I was way off with this. I thought QPR would have a good season. So Reading 1, Stoke 1, relatively boring game. Stoke took the lead with Michael Kitely, formerly of Wolves, about the 47th minute. I haven't noted down what time it was. New Boys Reading did actually do pretty well. They dominated the possession. They had 60% to Stoke's 40, and it took them until the 90th minute to pull back the equaliser. Dean Whitehead getting a red card for a second bookable offence, which led to the penalty, which Lafondra put away perfectly into the, I believe it was the right side. And yeah, a relatively boring game, not much to talk about. Nice to see Reading getting a point in their first game back in the Premier League for a few years. And yeah, on to the next one. And West Brom 3, Liverpool fans hide 0. LOL! Oh, I said I'm not going to be biased or anything, but you've got to admit it's funny. Liverpool fans, I know there's quite a few of you that were really mad about it, and I don't want to be too much of a douche about it, because I don't want to ruin what's happening. I was blown away. As you would have seen in my predictions video, I was sure it was a new season for Liverpool, new start, new manager, and they were going to do well. Didn't happen. They lost 3-0. West Brom went 1-0 up with a fantastic finish by Zoltan Gera into the top left-hand corner. Then Aga got sent off for a bit of a soft penalty, which Shane Long stepped up and hit it pathetically into the ground, which Pepe Reina saved with ease. Then 5-7 minutes later or something like that, West Brom got another penalty, which Odin Wingy stepped up and finished coolly into the back of the net. And then that wasn't it. They were still going. Romelu Lukaku, new loanee from Chelsea, stepped up with a perfect header and headed it into the back of the net, meaning Liverpool losing 3-0 on the opening game of the season, which doesn't set them up very nicely. There were some interesting things as well with Joe Cole. Obviously, he's back from Lille. I believe he just went out on loan there, and he came back, was subbed on the 68th minute for possibly Lucas Leiva, and then 11 minutes later, no sign of injury or anything like that, was subbed off for Carroll. So he played 11 minutes. Not even like he was subbed on late in the game and that was it. Subbed on, then off. Which is an odd one. I don't know why. Like, obviously they were losing 3-0, but of all the people they could have taken off, it would have made more sense to take off someone else, one of the more defensive midfielders. But they took off Joe Cole anyway, and they lost it 3-0. So West Ham beat Aston Villa 1-0. Relatively normal game. The new boys West Ham coming up. Nolan finishing very nicely from a Vazte cutback. He sort of like, I'm trying to reenact it, but you can't see my feet. Side-footed it into the back of the net from a bad angle, cut back from Vazte. It would have been offside if his player had got the ball, but luckily it bounced off a defender. When falling to Vazte, I believe that was how it worked. Nolan took the lead for West Ham after about 40 minutes, and not a lot happened after that. It finished 1-0. Newcastle 2, Tottenham 1. Unbiased, right, yeah. Livermore, Sandro and Gylfi Sigurdsson all started for Tottenham. Didn't have much of an impact. Demba Ba opened the scoring with his first goal since around February in the 54th minute. Then Defoe pulled one back around the 67th minute, but they only took Newcastle 3 or 4 more minutes for Ben Arthur to step up to the penalty, which they won shortly after, and make it 2-1, and that was how it finished. He finished it perfectly into the back of the net with his left foot. And a not so great start for Tottenham. Granted, they had a harder game, but they lost 2-1 to Newcastle, which Newcastle, as a lot of people have been saying, they're the quiet ones. They haven't done much in the transfer window, but I can see some movement going on. Maybe might do something good this year, just like last year. So a standard win for Chelsea at Wigan. Ivanovic getting up the pitch very early, I believe it was 2nd or 4th minute or something like that. I did actually watch the game, but fantastic run by Ivanovic from like his own box when they were under pressure all the way up the right there to the opposing penalty box. It was a crazy run, bombing run, and The ball was played over to him, I believe, by Hazard, and he finished it into the back of the net calmly because he was in so much space and he was able to finish it into the back of the net with ease. Shortly after that, 3 or 4 minutes later, Eden Hazard was knocked down for a penalty, which Frank Lampard stepped up and took with ease to make it 2-0. And that was about it for goals. Eden Hazard looked fantastic. He ran the game basically. He was getting knocked about all over the place by the Wigan players, but he did not care. Wigan did actually look quite strong, especially in the second half. They played quite well. I think they were just shocked and stunned at the start of the game, and it threw them off. But especially in the second half, they came out strong. Victor Moses, the Chelsea target, was playing very good football. It's a shame that the rest of his team weren't. Franco Di Santo and Jordi Gomez were shocking. The amount of chances they were given, all by Moses, was unbelievable. Moses hit the post on several occasions, forced Cech to make some great saves. There was one where he ran down the left, cut it in, it bounced off David Luiz, came to Jordi Gomez, who went for a bicycle kick in an open goal and miles wide, miles wide. If they'd pulled one of these back, it would have been a completely different game. So Wigan were quite unlucky. They definitely should have taken more of a chance. Now on to possibly the big game of the weekend. The start of the weekend you wouldn't have thought so, but Man City versus Southampton. Man City took the lead around 40 minutes in with Carlos Tevez. That was when you was expecting the floodgates to open. The pressure was being piled on Southampton, piled on. And then a strange thing happened. Substitute Ricky Lambert, who I've called since the end of last season, is going to need to step up. He was brilliant in the Championship, and I said if Southampton are going to do anything this year, they need Ricky Lambert to play well, and he didn't even start. Gulli was preferred over him, the Brazilian striker. Not sure if there was an injury or something, but Ricky Lambert came on the substitute, and after just a few minutes managed to get a brilliant goal. He was always looking for his teammates, he kept passing it out to him for this goal, and it was coming back to him every single time, and in the end he just smacked it. Perfect sort of FIFA finesse into the bottom corner, beat Joe Hart, and was a brilliant goal. Good for him. And then shortly after that, Stephen Davis, new signing, free transfer I believe from Rangers, obviously because they went into administration. He was subbed on a couple of minutes, and he scored as well. So that made Southampton 2-1. The two subs, brilliant impact. Nigel Atkins had done a great job to bring them on, and it worked perfectly. But it was Man City at home, and what can you expect? Edin Dzeko stepped up, got a nice goal, good reflexes to kick it in the back of the net, and then Sami Nasri took the lead for City to make it 3-2 in about the 80th minute, and it was a shame, Southampton. They were being dominated by possession. Man City had something like 65% to Southampton's 35%, so they had basically half the possession that Man City had, but they did very well. Last year City conceded just 12 goals at home in the Premier League, and they've conceded 2 already to Southampton in the first game, so that's pretty impressive. I bet Nigel Atkins and the rest of the team will be over the moon with that, and unlucky to them. And now on to the last game. I said I'd be unbiased, but this is hilarious. You've got to laugh at this one. I mean, I tweeted this after the game, and this just shows how bitter some of the United fans are. I mean, come on, mate. It's sad, and someone else tweeted something funny that, like, how painful United fans are and how bitter they are when they lose. Now, I love you. Some of the United fans, I've got some very good friends, and I know for a fact in the comments that there's going to be, I'm 2000% sure there's going to be people down there that will complain with some of the things I've said. If I've mentioned something bad about the team you support or something like that, they're going to be down there going, you did this wrong, complaining. Always going to happen with football things. I'm going off topic here now, but in my Premier League predictions video, I said about Tottenham how I don't think they'll do as well this season. And the comments were full of Tottenham fans saying, oh, you're just being biased because you're an Arsenal fan. I wasn't. I tried to remove my Arsenal opinions out of that. I was saying about how bad I thought Arsenal would be and how Tottenham would be as good. And that's an obvious statement. You think they've lost Luka Modric, they've lost Harry Redknapp, who was brilliant, they've lost their 2 strikers of Adebayor and Zaha, they've been weakened. The squad's getting a bit older, they're losing a bit of pace in the defence. Kyle Walker's got better, yes. They've brought in Gylfi Sigurdsson, yes. But the amount of hate I got for being biased for that was hilarious. But we're going to move on, go back to what I was talking about. And I'm sure there's going to be United fans complaining down there. And someone on Twitter said something as well interesting that said, could you imagine if any of these people supported bad teams? If they supported someone like West Ham or Portsmouth, who have gone down the leagues and have not had a great time of it, could you imagine how they would act? Like, United lose one game to Everton, 1-0, who are a good side. Everton are good, they played very well. Fellaini was incredible, and they just whinge and complain and moan. I moan when I lose, Chelsea fans moan when I lose, but last night on Twitter, there were some horrendous United fans. Now I know I'm just asking for hate in the comments, and I don't want you guys to be negative. Taking nothing away from United, you were unlucky. You had Valencia at right back, you had Carrick at centre back, two unusual players at the defensive role. It wasn't going to work for you. Carrick has got no height. Fellaini was winning every single battle. That's just unlucky. That injuries, etc., just didn't work out for you. The goal was bought by Carrick marking Fellaini not very well. Fellaini was able to get past him, and obviously with all the height that Fellaini had, he was able to beat Carrick to the ball and make it 1-0, and that was the only goal of the game. So don't whinge is all I can say to United fans. It's going to get better. We all know it is. You've got a fantastic squad. Van Persie came on with 20 minutes to go. Didn't do anything, but you can't judge him off. Just one game. Kagawa looked fantastic. The rest of the team not so sure. The injuries, etc. Don't whinge, be happy. You've still got 37 games left. That's all I'm going to say. You had a weak squad, so don't hate on me. Hate on yourselves. Hate on Man United, I mean, because it's not my fault. It's just the truth. I don't want to receive hate for pointing out the truth, which is what I know will happen in this video, and I have to admit that. That's it. End of week 1. Arsenal have more points than Tottenham, Man United and Liverpool. We've conceded less goals than Man City. We've scored the same amount as Liverpool. Pretty good, I say. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Do you want me to do more of these? Put in the comments below. I'm going to be doing more vlogs, not football related, just talking about stuff as well. But put the comments below if you want to see me do more weekly roundups. The music in the background is by this fantastic girl called Farah. If you watched X Factor, you might have seen her on there the other day. She's absolutely brilliant. Thanks as always to her. If you want to go and check out her website or her Twitter, they will both be down below.
She's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
It took a lot of effort, took me a while to prepare, to record and then to edit this. So thanks as always for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me information below if you want more of these. If you have some different opinions, put it below. Try not to be too hateful. Everyone's got their own opinion. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm going to end every video like that.